If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new album in the description. Let's talk about a new Lil Baby album, because this is something that's always been up in the air, but we never actually got, concrete, solid information on any news developing on this. And Lil Baby just took to his social media to tease this album again, so today I wanted to go over all the teasers we had so far and when we can expect this thing, and also, what we can expect on it. So let's jump straight into this. So the occasion that made me want to record this video was that today on March 2nd, Lil Baby took to his Instagram story to share a couple of pictures with us, but also obviously some, captions connected to the album. So first of all, we see this first picture, and you can see that it's a picture of him in probably the studio with the little word album at the bottom. When you skip to the next story, you could again see another angle of him, but this time the word coming, and then you might have expected this, but a last video with soon. So these three stories are to announce that the album is coming soon, and this is not the first time that we've heard about a new album coming. The last time we got some solo stuff from Lil Baby was those 3 tracks that dropped at the end of 2020, beginning of 2021. I'm talking about Everybody, As Real As It Gets, and also On Me. Those went pretty big. I was surprised that those 3 just standalone singles went that big, but of course his last album, My Turn, was his big breakthrough in the industry and has since allowed him to do so much more stuff. For example, the collaborative tape with Lil Durk, but of course people are waiting for a new solo album from this dude. Over the course of last year, we've had a couple of Instagram stories with him in the studio, for example, this one in particular, where he said, "I'm coming," and you could kind of tell that he was teasing at a new album. But especially over the last couple of days, also with the Instagram stories that I just showed y'all, and also a tweet from February 21st, so only about 2 weeks ago, or 1 week ago, where he said, "Album almost done. New music on the way though." So in here he's confirming that the album is almost done. It's not sure what this album is going to be like. We of course still have that mixtape Lamborghini Boys up in the air that only artists that own a Lamborghini will be featured on, but that is a mixtape. That is not the big album that is coming that he's now working on. And since he's announcing this as the album is almost done, this is not Lamborghini Boys he's talking about. But at some point we also got to get Lamborghini Boys, don't get me wrong. I'm just not sure if that's going to be before or after this new album. Now Lil Baby has detailed, for example, in I think it was the Icebox video, that this new album will be him writing his lyrics, because so far Lil Baby has breezed through his whole career just freestyling all the songs, and it's something that he's known for, is being in the studio, catching a vibe and laying down like a melody and then some lyrics over it. You can hear that in his music as well. And the fact that he's now writing his new album, I think, is also a big game changer, because Lil Baby has developed I'm not saying like a big lyricist, but in some of his songs you can really tell that the stuff he's saying does come from a special place in his heart. I'm talking about, for example, the Hurricane verse, for example, on Kanye's album. And some of the more recent songs have been more structurally cohesive, and him rapping about more serious stuff than the stuff he used to rap about when he was just coming up 2017, 2018, for example. So I do see definitely a step upward in what this could mean for this new album. We have a lot of snippets out there. Of course, if you go to YouTube and just search Lil Baby snippets, there are tons of them out there, because he's always previewing stuff on his Instagram and on his social media that people are like, yo, put this on there. And that's the first thing that I saw under the tweet about the new album, was people posting clips of some stuff he previewed and saying like, please put this on there and stuff like that. So likely some of the songs that you've heard over the past 1 to 2 years on his social media, him previewing and leaking and unreleased stuff, that will be featured on there as well. Lil Baby has gone through one of the most impressive transformations in hip-hop, I believe. He started off as just another one of those mumble rappers out of Atlanta, coming up with the help of Young Thug and Gunna, but then, pretty soon developed into a more serious artist that was not just a one-hit wonder. And people really started to realize this around the time that The Bigger Picture dropped. I remember back then, people like Meek Mill, who he's now besties with, tweeted like, yo, Lil Baby's going legend right in front of our eyes and stuff like that. So Lil Baby has, since then only gained more respect and love in the hip-hop community. And then also hopping on very big name features, for example, the Drake features that he's done, and also, as I said, the Kanye verse that he's supplied for Don the 2 and some of the verses he's done before that, just proved to show that he definitely developed into a more serious artist that wants to create, art that is not just some turn-up songs. And that's also what I'm hoping for from this new project. If Lil Baby sits down and structurally writes the songs and plans out what he wants to do with the album, then I believe this dude can definitely make an album that will live for way longer than just the next 1 to 2 years. I can kind of see this dude in like 20 years in the position of a Jay-Z. I'm not saying he's nowhere near that right now. Don't get me wrong. But the way that he's carrying himself and the way that he's also giving out game in terms of financial advice and all that through his music, I think this dude could really be on top and running a lot more than just his music business over the next 20 years. And, I can kind of compare him to Jay-Z. That's really where I see this dude at in his career right now and where he wants to go with it. This dude has ambition, he got talent, and he works, so freaking hard. So I think it's just up for Lil Baby from here. And this new album can definitely help him in that way as well. I'm not really concerned about this album. I'm not thinking he's going to fall off or anything, because if anything, those singles that he previewed just proved that people are still going to mess with his music, and also the fact that he's done the collaborative tape with Lil Durk, the voice of the Heroes, and that didn't go like super crazy, but it was really solid. And I think that if Lil Baby comes through with a solo project, gets a couple of big features on there, him getting that Drizzy feature again and all of that, then definitely this dude can use that to step up his career even more. I think judging from the fact that he said that the album is almost done, and we've now been waiting for over 2 years ever since my turn dropped for new music. Of course, he's dropped the voice of the Heroes, that's a release for him. But also I think, judging from that, I think that the album will come sometime this month. I'm guessing around the summer, because usually those albums do better, especially if it's like some partying music that'll be on there for sure, but then also people listening to it on a more serious level. I think that around summer, within the next like 3 to 4 months, we'll get this album. But of course, as we get closer to, we'll get so much more information on this, about a release date, an official announcement, cover art, track list, all of that. And once that does happen, I'll be here to keep y'all updated, because I'm super hyped for this record. So make sure you're subscribed if you want to stay up to date with this new Lil Baby album. We don't know what it's going to be called yet, but he's coming through very soon. This new thing will be all written by himself. That's one of the special things about it. And it will not be Lamborghini Boys that many people are also still waiting for. I'm, very interested in what happened to that project and if that is still coming, but I'll also keep you updated on that if we learn anything new about it. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Lil Baby, on this new project, on what we can make from the information we have so far. Now I want to know what you think about this. Are you excited for Lil Baby's new record? What do you think it'll be called? What do you think will be on there just content wise, and what do you hope for to see on this new record? Do you think Lil Baby could be in a Jay-Z position in 20 years? All of that, let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.